What's good, YouTube? It's your NativeReacts. One of my viewers suggested a video called Macdonald Alcoholism. I've seen Macdonald through the years, like on Comedy Central, but I never watched any of his stand-up. Just a little backstory, I was an alcoholic for a long time, but I've been sober the last couple years, so I can relate to alcoholism. Let's get my first impression with you guys.
I know this grimness. Although my buddy, I did want to say one thing about my buddy Richie, who has a disease. And, but it's an interesting disease he has. He has the disease of alcoholism. And he can't...
Let me know down in the comments how you feel about calling addictions a disease. I've heard good pros and cons on it. In my opinion, a disease would be like cancer or a sickness. I understand addiction is a lifelong struggle, but I wouldn't categorize it as a disease. I don't think that's very helpful. Let's see what Norm thinks about it.
Came to me, and he told me, and I like to look, I'm the kind of guy who likes to look at the bright side of things, So I told him, I said, Richie, it's true that you have a disease and everything, but I think you got the best one. It's the only disease where you get to drink booze all the time. I think you got the best one. It's the only disease where you get to drink booze all the time. I haven't looked at every medical journal, but I believe it's the only disease where you can constantly drink booze. As a matter of fact, that is the disease. And I don't think Richie would think if he had a disease. Like, I don't think Richie would go to my Uncle Bert, go, hey, I understand you got bowel cancer. Ah, man, I know how you feel. I gotta drink a lot of booze. Those diseases, they're tough, those diseases.
Exactly, that's why it's kind of weird categorizing that way.
He says, Uncle Bert? Hey, what's your symptoms, Uncle Bert? Well, my bowel, I got blood pouring out of it all the time. I got bowel blood pouring out, gushing out of my bowel, almost nonstop. And I got searing, clawing pains, ripping, tearing, mind-screeching bowel pains. And they're combined with aching, dull, soul-deadening bowel pain. Those are basically my symptoms. How about you? I get happy. And, I tend to be able to talk to people easier, I find. Sometimes I will meet a lady at a bar, got the same disease as I do, and I'll fuck her. But, that's in the latter stages of the disease, Uncle Bert. You gotta realize that. Know what I mean, Uncle Bert? But, no, but listen, man, I don't minimize what he does, though, because he admits that he's an alcoholic and that he's weaker than a bottle, and that ain't easy to do. I couldn't do any of that shit. I'm too proud, you know what I mean? I got too much pride, like they say in the scriptures, pride goeth before the fall, and he can somehow, it's a very beautiful thing he does. He goes to Alcoholics Anonymous, and he says, right in front of them, he says, he goes in front of
Shout out AANNA.
a whole room full of people, and he says, I am an alcoholic, which I know does not sound that anonymous. I didn't name the group, but it sounds like the exact opposite of anonymous. Whatever. Like, to me, the alcoholics, the anonymous alcoholics, to me, would be like you guys. I don't fucking know. I can't tell, But once you tell a whole church basement full of people, your cover's pretty well blown. But anyways, it's still...
That's pretty funny. I think the anonymity part of NA and AA is when people share their experiences in the rooms, you don't go out and tell the public about it, and you're not supposed to promote it on social media or like YouTube or stuff like that. You let people find their own way into the rooms. That's my understanding of it, at least.
Still requires a lot of... The only thing they seem to be anonymous about, from the way I can gather it, is they won't tell you their last names. Anything else goes, you know? But not the last name. No, no. Sometimes they'll say the first, like they'll go, I am Richie and I am an alcoholic, or the first initial. They'll say, my name is Richie K and I am an alcoholic. Then anything goes. They're like, one time I remember I was under the influence of the demon rum and by God, I started punching my newborn in the face. I looked down at my fist and it was all bloody with, I don't know what it was. It was either from my knuckles or my son's skull. Yeah. I'm not telling you my last name. That's none of your beeswax. As far as I'm concerned, a man should have a little, you know. Did I ever tell you about the time I blew a dog for a pint of gin? Oh, yeah, I did tell you. First initial's K, I'll give you that much. Richie K, but I'm not going to tell you the last letters. Plus, you can memorize my face. But other than that, I would like to keep this completely anonymous. If there was just a way I could... And what better way to keep a secret when you think about it than tell a room full of drunks? That's not going...
That's pretty good.
In place, you know? As soon as the guy has a relapse, hey, Richie blew a dog for a pint of gin. He told a whole bunch of us. Right. I mean, I understand the dog had some gin. What are you going to do? Oh, yeah. Richie K. You know Richie K? But I don't drink myself, you know. It's not because I'm no big guy. I'm just afraid, you know. I fear everything, you know. And so I'm afraid to and stuff. But I used to. Now I don't drink. And when you're with people that drink, it doesn't work out. That's why that designated...
Yeah, it doesn't. I lost a lot of people when I quit drinking. In my opinion, they weren't supposed to be in my life if they're not in and out just because I'm not partying with them.
Driver thing, I don't think ever worked out. I see ads for it again, like I think they're trying to resurrect that idea, but it's kind of a flawed notion, you know? It's like, hey, Bill, listen, we were wondering if you'd come out with us. Here's the idea. We want to go out and drink, and then we were hoping you'd come with us and not drink. How does that sound to you? We're going to go to a
Not very fun.
bunch of different bars and drink, and then you come with us and not drink. Also, we're not going to be driving. You're going to pick us up at our different houses, go to a bunch of bars, not drink while we drink, and then drive us all home. How's that sound to you?
Couldn't be me.
How's that catch you? I was like, I don't know. What's the catch? It sounds too good. There's some sort of... But I don't drink, and if you don't drink, I'll tell you something, bars are not a lot of fun because, you know, when you think about it, fucking all, you know, all it is you're just sitting at a big oak table for 4 hours. That's not fun unless you're drunk.
I didn't even like bars when I was drinking. The drinks are too expensive. I already have a girlfriend. I'm not trying to pick up girls, so, like, what's the point? What am I gonna get in a fight? I mean, what I got to gain out of it?
Drunk? And then everybody else be drinking, you know what I mean? So their fun is going up and up and up, you know? It's rising. Their fun is escalating while your fun is staying exactly the same. And then by the end of the night, you don't even know what the fuck they're laughing about. Just everybody's laughing. And then they start resenting you for it. I've seen that, man. Drunk people do not want a not drunk guy there. I know that. I've been there so many times. It always ends the same. Guy comes up to you and goes, hey, what's the matter with you? Cheer up. Ah.
It's pretty realistic.
Then you're like, oh, no, I'm having a good time, too. Don't take a wild swing at me when I'm not looking. I'll be driving you home later. This is a lot of fun.
Well, that one was really funny. Thank you for recommending it. Sorry I didn't react as much. I had to soak it in. I know Norm Macdonald's kind of a comedy legend, so I wanted to give him a full shot, not talk over it. And this issue's kind of hard for me, to be honest. I wanted to review something like this if you guys didn't want it reviewed. I'm new in recovery, but I had a good time. See y'all in the next one.